Good afternoon, distinguished guests, elected officials and members of the media. My name is Nova. It's an honour to MC today's media conference. Not just a privilege being obviously a media personality, but being part of the Colorado Springs community. Welcome me with open arms as well, especially for being overseas as well, but also being part of the Switchbacks family. It really is a family, and it's such a privilege to be stood here amongst you all. And also, at this time, I'd like to recognise our Mayor Yemi Mobiladi. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? Have you brought the soccer ball? You brought the soccer ball?
Afterwards.
Afterwards. I knew it. See, we had a kick around, I think it was a year ago, wasn't it, on the field? Yeah. Not bad, I tell you. Centre back? Central defender?
Well done.
Yeah. Chamber. Just get him on the 80th minute, he'd be fine. All right. And also we'd like to obviously speak about other elected officials who are joining us today. Would you all like to please stand? I know Mayor Yemi has already stood as well, but also like to recognise Superintendent Michael Gall as well. Give him a round of applause. Any soccer skills?
Halfback long time ago.
Halfback? What's halfback? Is that left or right side? Wonderful. Right. Listen, we're getting a five-a-side team sorted out here. We're getting there. Wonderful. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Miss Laura Newman, Vice President of Advocacy and Public Policy for Widener Apartment Homes.
Hello, everyone. And today we're here to announce a new chapter in the Switchbacks' 10-year history. Widener Apartment Homes, who has held an ownership stake in the club since 2019 and has been a sponsor and had their name on the stadium since 2017, is taking full ownership of the club in a new era of leadership and commitment to success. But before I get too far into the program, I want to draw your attention to the man whose vision and courage and tenacity brought us a professional sports franchise, and not only made one of the City for Champions projects a reality, but his Switchbacks FC team brought us home a championship in the 10-year anniversary. Does it get any better than that? Today simply would not have been possible without him. I welcome to the podium Mr. Ed Reagan, founder of Switchbacks FC.
Well, there's a lot of people that need some thanks, and I'm certainly, maybe our family's one of them, but today is a historic day, and we're very proud of this day and the 10 years that we've been able to bring Switchbacks to Colorado Springs. 2012, when we bought the franchise, we looked around the state, and we knew we didn't want to start this franchise outside of Colorado. We're Coloradoans. And we had 4 or 5 key reasons why we wanted to come to Colorado Springs. One was it was a ways from Denver. We wanted its own media base. And I think that worked out really well. 2 was there was a grass stadium, it's called Sand Creek Stadium, that we could play at for a period of time. And we actually kind of put our name on the downtown City for Champions Stadium. Now, when we did that, a lot of people rolled their eyes. In fact, I went with Mayor Bach to Denver, and I actually presented the idea that we would be the primary tenant of the stadium. And everybody in the room, there was just kind of a gasp, like, that ain't gonna happen. And and it's been a real mission over the years to get on board, get our project going, get the Switchbacks playing, show some success, and show that we're local. We're part of the community. And for a few years, we signed a 10-year lease, and we played 7 years at Sand Creek Stadium. And it really was a time where we really learned the system. We learned the league, we learned the governorships, we learned how players interact. And it was a great learning experience. And then about that time, we got to know the Widener family. They rented a suite originally, and then they put their name on the stadium at Sand Creek, which was a great step. And then as Mayor Bach, further developed the stadium and the City for Champions, it was told to us that they were never going to build the downtown stadium. In fact, I was sitting at a dinner table with a lot of the business leaders, and we were talking about the downtown stadium. And the news just came out just that day that the Mayor Southers, was not going to do the downtown stadium. So you can imagine the frustration that we went through for years, looking at, planning, hoping, dreaming that the Switchbacks would get a stadium downtown. And as most of you know, the relationship with the Wideners continued to grow. And it grew to the point where it was a real strong basis for financially supporting the downtown stadium. As most of you know, these things cost a lot of money. And when we looked at doing what we could afford downtown versus what we could afford as a team, it was exponentially different. And I talked to a lot of owners around the league, and they asked me, well, what kind of loan do you have? Well, we don't have a loan. What kind of deal did you do? We don't have any of that. We have a partner, and the partner was Dean Widener. Dean put up an enormous amount of money. The stadium that you see today is a derivative of Dean Widener. The cool sculpture at the corner, it was a dream of Dean's. The scoreboard, the video displays, and obviously the apartments to the south of us and around us in years to come will be Dean Widener's project. So it's an exciting thing that this relationship really was born many years ago. And it's been developing and developing and developing. And now it's time. I mean, this league is exploding, as you all know. We're going to be playing and traveling and doing things that we never dreamed of 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm excited that the team and the city can now step up to the demands of the league, the demands of soccer in North America. And, we were told by CBS Sports that it was the largest viewed soccer venue, our championship game, in the country. There was 500,000 eyeballs on our game, which was like a record. And if you look at it from a international perspective, there's probably tens of millions of people that either watch the game or follow the game during the course of our season and, of course, the final game. So anyway, it's an exciting day. But at the end of it, I do want to recognize the family, because this was always intended to be a family business. And when we went to the league and actually interviewed for the franchise, Nick and I went and met with all the league owners and whatnot, and about 5 minutes into the interview, they said, "You guys aren't soccer guys, are you?" And the fact is, we weren't soccer guys, but we were sports enthusiasts that were business oriented, and we wanted to make soccer a business. It's not a part-time job, it's not a hobby, it's not something that we're doing on the side. We wanted to make it a real, hard, fast business. And I think the same theme of that the Wideners have going forward. They want to make this a business, and that's an exciting thing. But I do want to point out, Nick is our president. Most of you know Nick Reagan. Nick is a visionary. Nick was always looking down the road, always looking around the corner, always trying to find that angle that could make us different. And Nick, the visionary, very few people are visionaries. Dean Widener's a visionary. I've been called that over my career as well, but Nick's a visionary. And James was vice president. Most people don't know, but James has an engineering degree, and he's got a secondary degree. His secondary degree is mathematics. I mean, James is probably the smartest guy in the room. I mean, and looking around, I would say that's probably true. and to deal with, concerts and stage organizations and schedules, and the league are wonderful guys, but the league wants to be the league, and there's constant interaction with the league. And I really hope and pray that the next generation understands that. And then Rachel, where's our Rachel? She does all of the apparel. All the stuff you see you wear comes through Rachel. And Rachel she's my daughter. She works hard, and she's an amazing person. So thank you, Rachel. Enough of that. Today's a great day. Today's a day of celebration. A celebrating of handing the baton to the next generation that can take the Switchbacks to the next level. So I'm delighted, I'm happy. Colorado Springs should be delighted and happy as well. So with that, Laura?
Thank you, Ed, for those heartfelt remarks. And I also want to recognize a couple that may have entered. County Commissioner Cammie Bremer, thank you for making the time. City Councilor Dave Lineweber, thank you. Have we missed anyone? Can you wave your hand if we did? Just appreciate y'all carving out time to be with us today. And I speak on behalf of Dean Widener and our new board of directors that are here with me today, Robert Carr, Eric Mazzell, Greg Serbana, when I express appreciation for you, Ed, Nick, James, Rachel, and your families. What an act we have to follow. For all of you in attendance, and all of you who see or read about this later today, it should go without saying that Widener Apartment Homes is bullish on the future of Colorado Springs and the future of the Switchbacks. We are extremely proud to increase our stake in the club and assume full ownership, and to continue to build upon the legacy of the Reagan family. Widener Apartment Homes is owned by Dean Widener, a Colorado Springs native who's had a presence in Colorado Springs for over 30 years. And most of you who are familiar with us know we're an owner, operator, and developer of apartment communities throughout the US and Canada. We've been in the Colorado market since 1993. Flash forward to 2016, when our company partnered with Switchbacks FC at the original stadium that you mentioned up at Sand Creek, now aptly known as Martin Reagan Field, by the way. We started our partnership with the team 9 years ago by putting our logo on the back of the jersey. And that progressed to naming rights at the old stadium and then at the new stadium, and ultimately evolved into purchasing a minority position in the club. So our relationship with the Reagan family has certainly blossomed over 9 years. And today, we stand before you as proud sole owners of the organization and its championship soccer team, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Now, many of you may be wondering what will change. The simple answer from a community standpoint is what you've grown to love and expect will definitely continue. Greg Serbana has made sure of that. We are proud of where the organization stands today and look to build upon future success. I'm proud to announce that our sporting director, Stephen Hogan, and both coaches, James Chambers, I don't know what happened to Alan McCann, hiding behind Joel back there, all of their contracts have been extended and executed. And if you haven't been following on our social media sites, we have one of the finest player rosters our franchise has ever seen. But I'll let Coach Chambers share a little bit more insight into what you can expect from us on the pitch. Nick, James, and Rachel have all agreed to stay on in their current positions for 6 months to ease us into the transition. We are so very thankful for their indelible contributions to our community, whether that's through the Switchbacks or for supporting Colorado Springs by serving on so many different boards. The Colorado Springs Sports Corp, I see you, Megan. The Colorado Springs Sports Authority, the Downtown Partnership, Hannah, and Karen Share. They also stood up the first unified team within USL history, Switchbacks Unified, that is the first of its type within the USL. It's a partnership with Special Olympics Colorado. Some of you know that I have a unique history with City for Champions from 12 years ago. In fact, some of you in the audience today, Chris Jenkins, Doug Price, you were the visionaries that helped bring this defining opportunity to our city through a very aggressive application process and a most successful presentation. But if there was an award for the embodiment of the C4C vision of sheer tenacity and scrappiness, the Reagan family would be worthy candidates for that honor. For that alone, you have earned your place in Colorado Springs history. But where would we be without our believers, the ones who saw the vision and came alongside the club to provide us with the support, guidance, and investment needed to run a professional soccer club? We are so very grateful for our commitment by our sponsors. I just happened to lock eyes with you, Gina, when I said that. We're so grateful. Many of you who are here in attendance, we say thank you, as well as our die-hard fans that are here today to share this news with us. 4 years ago, when Dean Widener envisioned the Epicenter sculpture right outside those doors at the entrance, he had a vision of enhancing Colorado Springs' reputation as a leader in Olympic, professional, collegiate, and amateur sports. He believes that sports has the power to unite and build community. Through that lens, we made the strategic decision to deepen our commitment to Switchbacks FC and the city of Colorado Springs through this significant investment. And as you can tell by my comments here, we're extremely grateful for that chance encounter with the Reagan family that led Widener to partner almost a decade ago. That was the impetus for our initial investment into the club and the foundation that allows us to be the proud owners here today. To honor the family that will forever be known as the founders of this club, it gives me great pleasure to announce the creation of the Reagan Scholarship Fund, whose purpose will enable deserving youth from El Paso County to experience the tremendous benefits from playing organized soccer. We hope one day to see a Reagan Scholarship participant make it to the first team of Switchbacks FC. More on that will be forthcoming, but we are so very excited to memorialize the contributions of the Reagan family in this perpetual manner. So alongside my fellow directors, Robert, Eric, and Greg, know that we are so very honored to lead the Colorado Springs Switchbacks and to work shoulder to shoulder with our talented team, of which there's at least a dozen or more here in the audience, to build upon this club's strong foundation. Our number one focus is to ensure the Switchbacks continue to thrive, both on and off the field, by delivering meaningful experiences for our fans and our community. With a clear vision for the future and a commitment to sustainable success, we are poised to compete at the very highest level and create lasting impact for years to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. And this past year, our Colorado Springs Switchbacks won the Western Conference Cup and the USL Championship Cup. Tell you. I'm still clapping, trust me. Yeah. I'd like to welcome on stage the head coach of this fine team, Dublin Island native as well, and my buddy, Mr. James Chambers. Come on, podium.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Nova. Much appreciated. First off, I just want to take a moment to thank Ed, Nick, James, Rachel, and the entire Reagan family for everything that you've done for this organisation from the get-go. It's been remarkable, so a truly heartfelt thank you. On behalf of everyone and anyone who has had the pleasure of Switchbacks affecting your life in a positive manner, thank you also. You leave the club in a strong position and off the field. The foundations are in place and we're in a really, really good spot. But for me personally, I want to thank you for two things. The opportunity to come here in 2021 and grow into the role that I'm lucky to have today and I'm grateful for. And secondly, the support that you showed last year when we had a terrific start of 0-5. it went a long way and it meant a lot. So really appreciate that. 4 years I've been here. I've had the pleasure of getting to know our new board of directors. And it's through late night conversations, lengthy conversations, it's clear that Mr. Widener holds the people and the culture in high regard. So Laura, Eric, Greg, Rob, you guys exemplify that on a daily basis with your actions, and we're excited to see that continue. Laura, your bullish comment. I think it's really important that from top to bottom there's an alignment. So your bullish comment is reciprocated on our side of the building with 3 Irishmen leading the charge. You have no concern there. On the field, our intent is clear. We want to continue to take the necessary steps that have us as one of the bigger organisations in the USL. That doesn't mean that every year we'll get these 2 shiny trophies. We know how difficult that will be, but we want to give ourselves the platform to achieve that. And that's where we try and achieve success. Off the field, engaging and entertaining our loyal fan base is a true value to us on this side of the building. And it's important that we continue to grow the game in the community. It's really important that we impact it and give back so the next generation of young players or young people have something to aspire to. Laura, Eric, Greg and Rob, I'm excited for the new era. Can't wait to get started. On to more pressing matters, the football side of things. So obviously we have 6 new additions. We're back in training about 2 weeks now. The guys are eager to try and repeat what has been done in the past, but the past is the past. We obviously have 4 weeks left to our season opener in El Paso. We have another 5 weeks before our home opener here against Detroit, which I'm sure we'll see everybody at. We're the is going to be to repeat that. That doesn't mean that we're not going to give it a hell of a lot to get there. So I know from speaking to the players and the staff, we have a shiny new star above our crest that will be revealed in a couple of weeks. With that comes added pressure, but also the opponent has an added incentive to beat us. So we'll wear that with pride. We'll represent the city really well as best we can, and we'll do everything to try and achieve this again. Our fantastic technical staff and terrific group of players are ready for that challenge. We'll tackle it head on, we'll give it everything that we've got. Guys, I appreciate your time this morning and this afternoon, I beg your pardon, and thank you.
I said it before, I'll say it again. It smells so good. You do. It does. I need to get hold of that cologne. Wow. And he's a soccer fan and a big supporter of our Colorado Springs Switchbacks. And if you come to any games, you might likely will see him on the concourse with his family. I certainly bump into you every single time, usually walking back from the bar. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I'd like to welcome him on stage. Have the honour of him being here. Mr. Mayor Yemi Mobiladi.
You know, I just finished dry January for the record, so I know we're talking about bar, but I do love a good cocktail. I too want to acknowledge my colleague, David Lineweber, City Council member, and Kemi Bremer, as well as Denals, and all the visionaries here truly that helped make City for Champions happen. It truly is an honor to join you all today in celebrating and recognizing the Reagan family for their incredible contributions to the great city of Colorado Springs. We call ourselves Olympic City USA, and still the Olympic City USA is more than just a brand or a title. the brand is also more than just a connection to the Olympic and Paralympic movement. Those things are true, but truly the Olympic City USA brand is a testament to the vision and the hard work of the people and the leaders who have dedicated themselves to fostering a city that embodies sports excellence, and it represents the drive of those who push boundaries, the commitment to inspire future generations, and the leadership that continues to elevate our community on the global stage. And I cannot think of a better family in our city that embodies this drive, vision, and work than the Reagan family. For years, the Reagan family has poured their passion, the leadership, and the dedication into the city of Colorado Springs and into Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, shaping not just an organization, but creating a true community asset. My city, my team. My city, my team. The city of Colorado Springs and the Reagans shared an inspiring vision for the City for Champions, a bold vision to elevate Colorado Springs into a world-class city. We set out to energize the downtown area, spur adjacent real estate investment, increase tourism, and bring a sprawling community together. And friends, we did it. And we are continuing to build upon our success as Olympic City USA. We are a city for champions, but you know what? We're also a city of champions. Here in Colorado Springs, we just don't host championships, we help create them. Not only do we have this thriving, vibrant downtown venue, this venue, as you know, is home to the reigning United Soccer League champions, Go Switchbacks. And truly, none of this would have been possible without the investment, the hard work, and the passion of the Reagan family, Ed, Marguerite, Nick, Jesse, James, Rachel. I see you all, and I thank you on behalf of the great city of Colorado Springs. I want to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for your work in strengthening our city's reputation as a premier destination for sports and excellence. And as the Reagan family transitions from the club, we're celebrating their legacy, not just in wins and achievements, but also in the connections that they have built, the opportunities they have created, and the lives that you all have touched. And speaking of transition, I'm also equally thrilled of the Widener leadership with their club. As you've heard, Widener is a longtime community champion and already a huge part of the Switchback family. So thank you, Greg. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Robert and Eric, for your continued leadership with the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. And please let Dean Widener know my heartfelt thank you for his 30 years of investment and development and philanthropy in Colorado Springs. Friends, being named the most desirable city in the United States doesn't happen by chance. It's a result of visionary leadership, unwavering dedication, and a profound commitment to fostering excellence in our community. And that is truly what we're celebrating today. To the Reagan family, Colorado Springs will eternally be grateful for your visionary leadership in helping to create one of the most electric experiences in Colorado Springs. Thank you for the gift of smiles and joy. Thank you for the gift of community spirit and pride. Thank you for the gift of unity. Thank you for the gift of building a stronger and a more connected community. Thank you for the cherished memories, and thank you for strengthening our local economy. Thank you for contributing to the vibrancy of downtown, and thank you for your commitment to this city. We celebrate you today and wish you nothing but the best in your next chapter. My team, my city, Switchbacks for life. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayemi. And now, at this time, we're going to come to the floor with any questions you may have as well. I'm going to facilitate as well, make it easy for our guests. They're going to take a seat on your right-hand side as well. If you do have a question as well, make sure you introduce yourself, which outlet you are from as well, so everyone in the room knows as well. Any questions we can't really hear as well, I will repeat them for our guests as well. So, yeah. So, without further ado, who would like to go first? Put your hand in the air as well. It's going to be like school, all right? Don't you all? Yeah. Abby, Fox 21. How are you?
Thank you. Good, Nova.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, y'all mentioned the changes. Can you elaborate on those at all that you're looking to implement heading into next season?
If I could just reiterate what I hope I communicated is what you've come to know and love and expect from an experience at Widener Field and with Switchbacks FC will continue. We don't anticipate making any immediate changes. Did that answer your question? Yes.
Oh, I thought there was a mic, sorry.
Oh, no?
Oh,
No, we're good. Jessica Mendoza, KKTV. Can you guys just talk about the why behind the timing and just why you felt like the time was right now?
and I'll repeat the question is why behind the timing, just in case the room did not hear that or you didn't pick that up. And perhaps, Ed, would you like to? Great.
You know, there's never a specific time. I think you have to kind of look at it as it was time, in the sense that every system kind of runs its course, and it was fun to, and we always knew at some point in our future there'd be change. We always knew. It was a great partnership because we saw that future kind of developing years ago, literally. And we felt it was the right time. And when you end on top, that's really cool. I mean, we didn't end on last place and got to rebuild it. We won a championship. And people say, well, why don't you want to continue? It was time. I mean, this is my second retirement. And you know, and you get to a point where you want to hand the baton. And this was that time that baton needed to be handed. So, could we have pushed on? Sure. But we felt this was the right time. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, we're a shy room, aren't we? Hello.
Noel Black, Colorado Springs Independent. I'm curious about any planned or envisioned investments in youth soccer in Colorado Springs by the Switchbacks. Is anyone in here knows who has kids in sports? The fields are full and facilities are bursting at the seams, and it's great. Soccer's alive and well here, and the Switchbacks have obviously been a big part of that. But I certainly think, you know, at that highest level, we see that investment. But is there going to be some more investment coming from the club at the youth level?
So the question was, are there any plans for the future to expand on a youth program here at Widener Field or with the Switchbacks? And you know, I'm going to give one of my fellow board of the directors the opportunity to speak, Greg or Robert, on the future as we see it. You know, there's a lot of vision. There's not any immediate plans, but there's a lot of vision for the future. You're going to make me get off this. Oh, thank you. You know how hard it was to get up here.
I'll answer this in a couple of ways. In absolutely yes. I think the Switchbacks have been the answer for professional soccer here in the Springs, and we want to be the answer for soccer and be able to work with the existing youth networks that are out there and figure out ways to grow the game. As we talked about, establishing that scholarship will connect us even further with the youth game. I think the team and the club, and perhaps Coach can talk a little bit about what we've done to start bringing other players in, and we've got a number of them, as I understand it, that are on the first team pitch right now and working with us. So that ecosystem and bringing those up through the game as the championship evolves, we'll be able to tag into that and plug into that and help that system flourish.
Coach, did you want to add anything? Okay.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think with the introduction of Switchbacks too, we've tried to bridge that gap a little bit. Currently we have two young players from the area, 2 youth players. One just turned 15 and another that is 16 in the building at the moment, because that can crush them long term. But also we have to give them the opportunities that there's success and failures at the right time. It's delicate and it takes time, it takes investment, but it is something we're looking to do. We're not just here trying to win big shiny trophies. We also want to impact the community, give people an opportunity that soccer's growing and some young kids out there really want to be professional players. We would love to give them that platform, but also the infrastructure has to be in place too for it to be correct.
Good, yeah. Anybody else?
On a similar subject, does that also include women's soccer?
Good question. Women's soccer as well, as that included that?
Well, maybe Nick could answer that question. He's been the one that's engaged in all of this. But I could answer it really easy. That's a real challenge today. Clearly it's in the future, but the right timing is important. And bringing it on board at a time where it makes sense. I think burdening the franchise right now is too much of a burden. It's a major, major, major investment. And we have to look at that, and they have to look at that carefully before they make those decisions. And we're here to help. We certainly know a lot about, I know recently the Denver just bought a women's franchise for $110 million. We could have bought that same franchise 3 years ago for $2 million. But it would have cost us probably $5 to $6 million a year just to start the program. And that was just too much of a burden. So is it the future? Sure. It's timing, only these guys can speak to that. But certainly it's in the future. And one of my speech things that I missed, and I apologize, I really hope that really has a look into the future. Every city in North America has a sports group that builds stadiums. Franchises don't build stadiums. Because cities are the recipients of the benefit. And this stadium probably needs a renovation in 3 or 4 years. And the city needs to get on board with building it and spending the money. And I know I don't want to go there right now, but that would speak into the women's culture. And I've said too much.
Thanks for your question, Lee. Thank you. Who's next? Yeah.
The USL seems to have been in talks about promotion and relegation system, and I wonder if there's any news on that front from the league standpoint. And I know Switchbacks were leaders in those conversations.
We can speak to that.
Yeah, promotion relegation was a pyramid system. Yeah.
It's in the system. Whether it's 2 years or 5 years, we don't know. Because trying to get 25 owners to agree on anything takes time. But absolutely, it's out there. It will happen. Will it happen next year? I doubt it. I think it'll happen in the next 5 to 6 years. And they're already doing things in the league that's starting to set the stage for that. And clearly, we want to separate, or the league wants to separate itself from the MLS league, right? And they want to have Tier 1 soccer available to us, which again is a huge step. Our stadium isn't big enough for that. Both men and women, Tier 1 stadium could be in Colorado Springs in 10 years under certain conditions. And all of those are huge milestones, and that's where the vision has to come in, because you got to have a vision for it and then work towards it. Nobody expected this to ever happen. And I was told by people that have lived in Colorado Springs for 50 years, the city will never build you a stadium. The fact is, the city didn't build us a stadium. With the help of Widener, built the stadium. But going forward, the city needs to be more involved. I think the city will be, but it's a challenge. And I don't want to get sideways with all your...
Good yet? Good. Easy audience. Yeah. So no more questions? Going once? Perfect. Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for today's guests, please. Laura, Ed, and Coach James Chandler. Yeah, game on Friday. Is it the first pre-season game?
Yeah, you're not playing.
Oh. Not even like last 5 minutes, no?
Don't be
No.
asking.
I want to ask as well, obviously, how's pre-season? I know you briefly mentioned it. Obviously, more new faces coming in as well?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, okay.
No, yeah, we're still looking to do a little bit of business, but it has to be the right one.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the right type of character, the right type of person. That's important to us. So we're not just going to sign somebody willy-nilly because they're a good footballer. So we have some parameters in place. That being said, all the new additions have come in really well. Eager to get going and get started and to push us to another level. First pre-season game on Friday down in Tucson against New Mexico, and then Louisville on Sunday. So the top one in East and West, which will be a good challenge for us. And we'll see where we lie after that. But yeah, excited. 2 weeks in and a lot more to go before, like I said, the season opener.
Did you have a nice break after the championship? Yeah. Did you have a nice break? Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. You went back home, didn't you? You go
I
back
was
home?
home for a week, yeah.
That was nice.
Is it a question or a conversation?
I'm just having a conversation. Yeah. We're just having a catch up. I haven't seen it for a bit. Yeah. Anyway. I know. Anyway. But anyway, listen. Put your hands together one more time for our special guest this afternoon. And thank you everyone for joining us as well. Fantastic, incredible news, very exciting. Like Laura mentioned earlier, it is a celebration. It really is, and we're going to continue into 2025, continuing to celebrate as well. Thank you for making the journey down as well, chaps. It's been wonderful, it really has. Also, I know a really good Valentine's present, okay, for you who love birds, okay. We've got season tickets available, haven't we? Yeah? I mean, you imagine getting one of them opened, I mean, Yeah? No, but also tickets are available for every single game now, season tickets as well. Support the community. It's a great evening out, it really is. Even if it's a new soccer fan, if you're already a soccer fan, coming together as a family, people out of town and let them experience Switchbacks FC. It's one of the best pieces of entertainment here in town. It really is. It's fantastic. So please have a think about that and spread the word as well. Big shout out to all the social media team as well, who are going to put amazing features out, content out throughout the season as well. I'd like to personally thank James and Nick as well for letting me come into the family as well here at Switchbacks. It's really a big part of my life as well. And it itches. You know what I mean? It sorts that itch out as well, being away from home as well and having football in my life as well. There is a chance for media, press. You can hang out, obviously get some close interviews as well with who you like as well. But I'd just like to say a huge thank you on behalf of myself and everyone here at Switchbacks and the new owners, Widener. Okay, the Widener Group as well. Okay, here's to 2025. Go Switchbacks. Okay, thank you.